Prostitution, it's the business that few people ever talk about. We'll take a look inside America's most famous brothel. He's made millions from feeding one of America's biggest hobbies. Meet America's top farmer for fancy fish. And no monkeying around here. It's the Great American Battery Test. We'll see which battery is the top banana on this edition of On the Money. Hello, I'm Brian Banmiller. You've seen all the ads, but now we're going to tell you the truth. What battery really keeps on going? You won't want to miss our annual battery test. But first, prostitution is one of the most profitable street corner businesses in America. But just about everywhere, it's illegal. And to many, it's morally repugnant. But with crime and AIDS on the rise, some communities now are thinking the unthinkable. Should we legalize ladies of the night? To find out, On the Money's Leslie Griffith went to the one place in the nation where sex is legally for sale. Because of the adult nature of the topic, we advise viewer discretion.
To most Americans, prostitution conjures up images of uneducated girls, scantily clad, drug addicts, pimps, and street crime. But open your eyes to the rural counties of Nevada, and these images are blurred. Tucked away from the bright lights of Vegas and Reno is a scene reminiscent of the Old West, where legal brothels are thriving and small counties seem to welcome the business.
Now Frost.
This is Moni. She's a favorite at the Mustang Ranch.
I don't think too many people think about doing this, but I just didn't think it would be so bad. And actually it isn't. It's great. Every day is different. You can average from 3 men to 5 a day. It's just all depending on how your day progresses,
Moni says she's a college graduate who chose legalized prostitution to make a living. She says she's 23 and hopes to retire by 30.
If you work hard and save your money and invest, which I do quite often, I invest in homes and I play the stock market. It's safe here. You get checked by a doctor, you have your security, and we're protected. Out in the street, you're not.
The Mustang Ranch is big business with earnings of over $12 million a year. If you're wondering how all this works, we'll show you. A client rings the bell outside. He's buzzed in and is then shown what's called the lineup.
You like to pick a lady of your choice? There's a bar around the corner if you'd like to go to the bar. Okay.
It is at the bar that many inhibitions are tackled.
The intrigue of it, we're all raised that this is a big no-no. And then I was in the military and I was overseas in Europe, and there it's heavily regulated and legal, though, like here. So it's almost like getting in the cookie jar, I guess.
I'm still debating whether I even want to do it or not.
Both men eventually decide to follow one of the ladies down the long hallway to her room, where services are discussed and money changes hands. Here's the first question.
What type of party are you looking forward to? I mean, would you like to get wild, or do you want to keep it simple, or?
I'll usually suggest everything that I do, so that maybe they might, be intrigued by something and say, well, let's try that.
The women say they can make anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Half of that goes to the brothel. Many prostitutes here say that the brothels save them from the crime and the violence of the streets.
One time I had a fractured nose and a concussion. I showed up here about a week later.
We're taught how to inspect the gentlemen that come in, and we look for any venereal diseases, any open sores, things that are visual.
Nevada law requires brothel prostitutes to use condoms and to take AIDS tests once a month.
Anything that's going to jeopardize my health, I will not do.
We've had 20,000 monthly tests, and we've had exactly 0 HIV seropositive conversions. And no other area of prostitution can say that.
Certainly the danger of contracting HIV is greater on the street.
I know of 3 girls that are HIV positive that work. But they haven't been busted, so nobody knows.
They're out working now.
Well, the girls...
Wait a minute, they're out working now?
Well, earlier I seen them.
Are they using condoms?
God, let's hope so, okay?
But there are serious concerns about the working conditions at brothels. For one, the hours are grueling.
Women have to work 3 weeks on, 3 weeks off. So many of the women who are mothers have to leave their children behind and try and find, arrangements for the 3 weeks that they have to work. And during those 3 weeks, women are obligated to work up to 16 hours a day.
The women at this brothel say they have no health benefits. If they get sick, they're out of work. And there aren't too many waiting to defend their civil rights. Here's why.
It's a big financial benefit. It's, I said earlier about 7 to 10% of the budget is made by the brothel business here.
And this county commissioner should know she was the madam at the Mustang Ranch for more than a dozen years.
As a small county, we have a very limited budget, so this money helps us build a school, are more roads, without it, we wouldn't be able to do some of the things that we do.
Nearby Virginia City reaps much of the brothel's economic benefits, but because the brothel is by far the biggest business in the county, some say the ranch has too much power. You said you had, mixed feelings about it?
Yeah, about one person being able to control a small county. And it goes from law enforcement to the schools to everything.
Legal brothels are simply legalizing a form of pimping.
Dr. Ellen Pillard is a professor of social work who focuses her studies on prostitution.
I would much prefer to see actually brothels outlawed and women in either individually or collectively licensed to organize and sell sexual services.
Until that time, she feels brothels are at least an improvement over street prostitution. It's a moral dilemma that even a former madam shares.
I'm not going to sit here and say I advocate prostitution. I have daughters. I would not want them to become prostitutes. But there are prostitutes. And so what you do is make the best of it. And if this is what they choose to do, then why not give them a safe environment to do it in?
But in the end, this is a story beyond policy and politics.
I'm saving money to buy a house, and I want kids. I would probably be a very strict mother.
Leslie Griffith joins us now to wrap up the story. Les?
Brian, we should note that we paid the prostitutes for the time we took to interview them, and as we pointed out, money is a major reason some communities are considering legal prostitution. A study in San Francisco found arresting a prostitute cost about $1,000 each time, a total of $3 million a year. But civil rights advocates complain legal prostitutes face terrible stigmas in Nevada. Unwritten laws in some counties say that the legal prostitutes can't go to local bars, their children can't live in town, they cannot associate with local residents, and they carry a police file for their lives. Like the business itself, the debate over prostitution is sure to continue for several years to come.
I'm sure you're right. Interesting story.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks, Leslie. Straight ahead, do your dreams hold the secrets and keys to your financial well-being? And we'll bring you a real fish tale from Florida, a man who makes millions selling fish to the world.
The steel rector's about to plumb.
Today's office doesn't always come with 4 walls. So no matter where your employees do business, AT&T has a way to help them and to give you more control. Call for the AT&T corporate calling card. We can customize a plan by letting you choose from more than 70 different features. If you're responsible for controlling expenses, we can customize your bill by location, individual, or account code. If you're concerned about card security, we offer customized fraud protection for your company and employees. We also offer discounts as high as 40%, a variety of competitive savings plans, and easy worldwide access.
We got the job!
Call AT&T now and decide how many or how few features you need. The AT&T corporate calling card.
I don't know, call it a hunch.
Find out how customized a calling card can be.
Yeah, Bob, the Russians look great, but these rewrites are killing us.
This may look like an ordinary compact disc,
But actually, it's an interactive encyclopedia. A stimulating match with a tennis pro. An interactive adventure through fantastic worlds. A glimpse into the world of Vincent van Gogh. Or even a feature-length Hollywood movie. This is CDI, Compact Disc Interactive. A new world standard in multimedia home entertainment from Philips Electronics. You might expect to pay over $1,000 for an entertainment system that does this much, but now you can own a Philips CDI player for only $499. You can choose from more than 100 interactive titles by world-renowned publishers. CDI titles start at just $15. During this special TV promotion, we'll include Compton's Interactive Encyclopedia on disc, a $299 retail value, yours free during this limited time offer. Call the number on your screen now for a free brochure and for the location of your nearest CDI retailer.
Credit card debt, layoffs, overdue bills. If you're in the middle of a personal financial crisis, chances are it haunts you in your sleep. But are those disturbing dreams nightmares to forget or mental messages to remember? On the Money's Laura Zimmerman reports on the strange relationship between dollars and dreams.
Beyond the final frontier of consciousness lies the world of dreams. What goes on there? Where do dreams come from? Modern technology can tell us when we dream and how often, but no device can explain dreams, decipher those images that rage through our sleep, especially when we're in a time of intense personal crisis.
I had a dream of being imprisoned. I thought there was a debtor's prison. My wife was in bed with me, and she knew all the twitching and pain that I was going through while I was sleeping, and how drenched I would be from my fear.
Richard's nightmare is the kind of dream many of these Debtors Anonymous members have experienced. His dream coincided with a panic point in his life.
I thought I was going to take my life because I felt that since I was a failure financially, that meant I was a failure as a human being as well.
For others, recurrent dreams mirrored the daily anxiety they felt over money and debt.
In real life and in dreams, I began to have extremes of starving. I couldn't get enough food in.
Are dreams like this sending us a message?
When we're overwhelmed with a crisis, we cut off certain feelings because we're ashamed of them or we feel overwhelmed by them. So just paying attention to dreams can give us inspiration and can show us hidden feelings.
Dr. Siegel is the author of a book on dreams and how to interpret them. He says dreams can help clarify real-life problems in terms we understand.
Dreams bring up parallel issues from our past. So if you are experiencing a death, you may dream of a pet that you lost as a child. If you've just been fired from a job, you might dream of your father yelling at you and sending you to your room.
Dreams alone aren't going to bail you out of bankruptcy or pay back your credit card debt, but they are alarm signals, your hidden mind telling you it's time to act.
So dreams appear to be part of how we adapt to crisis. When we're in a crisis, we're dreaming more, so it's very important to look to our dreams for images that will inspire us and direct us towards making changes.
I'm Jenny. I'm a compulsive debtor.
Hi, Jenny. For On the Money, I'm Laura Zimmerman.
Now, the experts say to get the most out of your dreams, keep a record of them in a notebook and talk about your dreams with a partner or a close friend. After all, it costs nothing to analyze your own dreams. Now, that's a money tip worth remembering. Deep in the swamplands around Tampa, Florida, we found a man who took his dreams and turned them into a fortune in fish. Tim Hennessy began with $5 in his pocket and a passion to fill every fish bowl in America. Today, he's literally swimming in American success. And that's no fish story.
Every morning, Tim Hennessy has more than 12 million mouths to feed. These hungry little creatures are freshwater tropical fish, born and bred on one of the largest fish farms in America. Elkville Wildlife Resources.
How many boxes you got full on this truck right now?
Tim Hennessy is the founding father of tropical fish farming, now the biggest industry in Tampa, Florida.
It's an agricultural lifestyle. It's a way of life. It's not just a business for us. It's a lifestyle.
Back in 1981, Hennessy's ocean blue eyes saw a trend he knew could breed success. High demand for low-maintenance pets.
Fish are easy. They don't go on the carpet. They don't have fleas problems. Guppies for yuppies, we call it sometimes. That old non-commitment thing, this is the 90s, you know?
Today, 95% of the fish swimming in aquariums across America are grown here in eastern Florida. Paddling around Elkwood's 250 ponds are hundreds of species of aquatic animals. Everything from albino frogs to red swamp crawfish.
Of course, if you get tired of these, you can always eat them.
The key to fish farming is getting the sometimes prudish fish to mate. Bottles of green dope help sedate the fish into the right mood. The waterlogged lovers are then paired off into honeymoon tanks.
Fish don't have eyelids, so it has to be not too bright. We also have to have a certain water chemistry and a certain temperature and a certain nutritional program before the fish are physiologically ready to go. So it is important, yeah.
So it's sort of candlelight and romance like human beings.
In a fish equivalent, yes.
To create new, prettier varieties, Hennessy scrambles fish genes like eggs in a pan. Take the black tetra.
This is from Peru, and that's what they look like right out of the river in the Amazon. And then we can work on that through selective breeding, and we can develop long fins. You can see the finnage on the high fin.
By the time the fish are teenagers, they move out on their own into the ponds. Workers drag the pond weekly, collecting nearly 2 million fish a week. Defending this menagerie is what Hennessy's cannon's for. It's his #1 line of defense against a laundry list of predators with designs on a seafood lunch. Using bags sealed with pure oxygen, Elkville ships out 6 million fish a month all over the world. An impressive 99% survive the trip. But Hennessy doesn't get too attached to these fish.
My favorite kind of fish are the ones we make money on.
But for Tim Hennessy, the best part of the job is that he never wears a suit, unless it's a swimsuit. He says it's the funnest job a fisherman can have on dry land. I'm Jody Stewart for On the Money.
Now, believe it or not, fish farming is one of the nation's fastest growing industries. Fish collecting now ranks just behind photography as America's most popular hobby. Straight ahead, our consumer editor, Tom Vakar, monkeys around to find that top banana among batteries. But first, a look at mortgage rates this week. They dipped for the first time in 3 weeks.
On the next Cobra.
The thief is the soul of a man who burned alive 5 years ago. He's back to get his revenge.
Is he a ghost?
He burned to death in front of our eyes. He's dead.
Is he a man?
Ghosts or no ghosts, fires are burning and people are dying here.
Is he a decoy?
You must be very careful, Phoenix.
Scandal's got to keep his cool.
Freeze!
Cobra.
Tuesday night at 8 on KPTV 12.
Hi, I'm Bob Davis, broker for the Prudential Homefolk Realtors. With today's low interest rates, it makes sense to buy a home before the rates go back up. Let us help you find your next home. Call us at 661-0300 and tell us what you're looking for. We'll put together a list of homes for you by the time you reach our office. Simply drive by and decide which ones you'd like to tour, and we'll schedule your visit. Remember, if you don't call us today, we can't save you time in finding your next home. Call us at 661-0300 today.
It's natural for kids and parents to fight. It's part of life.
It's just a phase. She'll bounce back.
All kids experiment. We did when we were her age.
Kids on drugs don't need your excuses. They need your help.
Prevent the use of drugs and alcohol by children. KPTV and our For Kids' Sake sponsors encourage you to call the Oregon Federation of Parents for Drug-Free Youth.
on the next Coach.
If the only thing standing between us and a $10 million athletic center is a stupid dog, we're going to find a stupid dog.
Coach needs a hound.
We call him Yoda. Are you joking? This isn't a dog, it's a pull toy.
But it's slim pickings at the pound.
And this one looks like a bag a dog used to be in.
Can he slide this one by?
This is the dog that saved your life?
Yeah, and it took a lot out of him, as you can see.
Tails will wag on the next Coach.
Monday at 6:30 on KPTV 12.
Battery sales add up to more than $2.5 billion a year. 8 to 10 batteries for every man, woman, and child. Half of them sold during the holidays. After years of longer life, tough new environmental regulations that force battery makers to take toxic chemicals out are beginning to rob batteries of their power. Consumer editor Tom Vacar reports on his annual Great American Battery Test.
Last year, these power porkers proved Energizers were the long-lasting batteries to buy because they kept on going and going, besting the rest by a country mile. Well, this year, on the very same day, in the same area, we went out and bought a variety of 9 different alkalines, plus 5 rechargeables. In the very same store, we found 3 different expiration dates on Duracells and 2 on the Energizers. This would prove to be very important.
And now, after days of scrupulous preparation and care, to be absolutely fair, folks, it's monkey time.
I know you're gonna dig this.
On a soon-to-be-occupied Monkey Island, in the middle of a zoo, surrounded by curious neighbors, our 14 identical brown and white Bobo gorillas went ape. To be totally fair, we ran 3 different tests, switching the batteries around into different gorillas to account for any differences in the power use of the motors or their internal mechanisms. 3 tests, 3 days, watching, waiting.
I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this. I know you're gonna dig this.
On average, all our NiCad rechargeables lasted just under 2 hours, pretty much a tie between Eveready, GE, Radio Shack, and again. But the Rayovac rechargeable alkalines kept going for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Of the non-reusable alkalines, Walgreen Drugs bit the banana first at an average of just under 3.5 hours. Finishing on an average of just under 4 hours, the environmentally friendlier Energizer with the 98 expiration date. A half hour later, the environmentally friendlier 98 Duracell pooped out along with the thrifty drug alkaline. At 4 hours and 45 minutes, the less eco-friendly 97 Duracell, even with its earlier expiration date, lasted longer. Next to go, the Kodak Superlife at just under 5 hours. In third place, the less eco-friendly 97 Energizer, running at an average of 5 hours and 5 minutes. Second place, the Radio Shack Alkaline at 5 hours and 15 minutes. And underscoring the increasing importance of environmental regulations on throwaway batteries, the 96 expiration date Maxell Alkaline blew the competition away with an average run of 6 hours and 15 minutes, a full hour ahead of Radio Shack and Energizer. Strange as it might sound, it seems fair to say, don't look for the freshest batteries this year. That is, if you care.
Tom joins me now with his advice for battery buyers. Tom?
Well, if you're going to buy batteries soon, it makes more sense to buy ones which will expire sooner because it appears they're going to give longer power. That's especially true for emergency stuff like flashlights, where long-life alkalines are the best. Remember, in a power outage, recharging is out too. But if you're going to hold on to them, fresher is better, or rechargeables, which can be used over and over again, but each charge won't last nearly as long.
Thanks, Tom. Good story. We'll be right back, but first a look at how Wall Street fared this week.
It's just kind of an annoyance.
And I'm just too embarrassed to tell him about it.
Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head. It automatically adjusts to every contour of your face, Flex Control from Braun, the last word in shavers.
For me, the ideal shaver would give me a nice close shave and can get into those tight, troubled areas very easily.
Platinum-coated twin foils and dual cutter blocks automatically adjust to give even the difficult areas of your face Braun's most comfortable and closest shave ever. Now, for only 4 easy payments of $32.50, you can have the original Braun Flex Control with pivoting head in chromium-plated or black matte finish.
The best shave I've ever had.
I think the Braun shaver would be a great gift.
Call 1-800-468-1199. And for only 4 easy payments of $32.50, the Braun Flex Control Shaver with deluxe travel case can be yours. Order now and get the pocket battery shaver free. Call 1-800-468-1199.
Buy the Braun Flex Control. It's the best.
New Easy Address software is your personal address book for Windows. Keep your address book always organized and up to date. Only $24.95 from SimpleSoft Corporation. Call 800-451-3696.
When Tom Hanks falls for a mermaid,
Nobody said love's perfect.
it's a very fishy love story. Splash, Monday night at 8 on KPTV 12.
In the advertising business, this is called direct mail, something all of us are familiar with by now. Direct mail people like to talk in terms of targeting and measuring results. Television, on the other hand, measures who's watching what every 15 minutes. Talk about picking your target. And get this, if 97 out of 100 people throw your ad in the trash, direct mail people call that a success. The rest of us call it junk mail.
Television advertising, a third of a penny per prospect.
Listen to some of the things people are saying about Paulson's floor covering.
What a selection. I never thought buying a carpet could be so easy.
Well, they have low prices, great selection, and they have people to help you make your choice.
Well, everybody here is just so helpful.
Oh, I just thought buying carpet was going to be a chore, and they made it very easy.
I'm so happy with the carpet, I'm going back for everything else.
Come find out why everybody's talking about it. At Paulson's, you may buy a carpet, but it's service that we sell.
Darian falls into Zombie's fatal trap.
Say goodbye, Captain.
On an all-new Time Trax. Wednesday night at 8 on KPTV 12.
That's our show for this week. Here are some of the stories you can look forward to on the next edition of On the Money. The countdown to Christmas begins. Do you know what toys your kids really want?
It works. Oh.
Does Barney beat out Barbie?
Chicken, say I love you.
These tots tell which toys make the top 10 in our nationwide toy test. The results on the next edition of On the Money. We hope you'll join us. But before we go, we'd like to welcome some new stations to the On the Money family. KSHB Kansas City, KTFO Tulsa, and KTVM Butte. Good to have you with us. I'm Brian Banmiller. Until next time, may all your business ventures be successful. Thanks for watching.